Well, I'm back again. It's only been quite a while. Yeah, a lot of shit's happened, as the background will probably give away. Got a hole in my wall. I have finally moved into a new place. It's only been, almost a year since I've actually had my own space again. So, to coincide with that, I am probably going to go through my third rebrand. Now, the Zero Xeon branding is staying around. That's going to stay around. That's just going to be exclusive to Twitch now. On YouTube, that's when things are going to change. So, as the title sequence will probably give away, instead of it being Zero, Zero does the thing, Zero motorsport, any of that, it's going to change to Morgan Lewis, being my name. But there is a caveat to that. Whilst the live streaming stuff will still remain as Zero Xeon, there'll be another addition. So, I've always been inspired by people like Thin Matrix, and Thin Matrix documented his entire process of making a game called Aquilinox. Absolutely amazing game. Get it on Steam. It is fantastic. It's also because I've lost quite a few hours to it. And as a result, I picked up the ability to. It's not really an ability, I guess. It's more of I picked up the want to build my own game. So live on Twitch about 3 days ago from when this video was released, I started building a game called Project Absolution. But I'm doing it entirely in a weird programming language that doesn't have a lot of a following, called Hax. And the best way I can describe it is take the best things from C# and the best things from JavaScript and smash them together. You've got Hax. It's really easy to learn. I'd highly recommend it. But the perk of it is I can translate that to any platform I want. So if I want something to run efficiently on Windows, I'll run it using things like DirectX, SDL, OpenGL, or any of that. But it will be compiled to C or C++. If I want to run it on Android, then I would have to change the graphics library to OpenGL or Vulkan and run it that way. But Hax and Hax Flixel does that all for me. So any updates to do with that will be available on my itch page, or you can watch the VOD on Twitch, or you can look for like the weekly roundups that I'm gonna try and keep consistent with here. What else do I have to update you on? Oh yeah, got rid of the beard. That's probably gonna stay away for a while. It's been bugging me for ages, so I've kind of just stopped sporting it. Oh, and get used to this setup for a while. I am officially the comfiest programmer, I think, because this is a glorious armchair. I've fallen asleep in it twice today just reading. So, because without anything else this video would be incredibly short, I thought I'd do a bit of a setup tour. Now, this will flip to B-roll footage shot on my camera. It is 720p, I apologize in advance, but a camera's a camera. So let's swap over to that one. So this is the usual layout of my desk. Got my phone, got my game controller, which I use mainly for playing retro games because I don't really want to be using a wire from playing a retro game, so I have very, very simplistic controller. My headphones and my computer, of which I will post the specs up on screen in a little bit later. And then my main monitor, which has what I'm working on currently. And what I actually have open is the menu programming for Project Absolution 003. So there's that going. And of course, as is mandatory for being British, a lovely cup of tea. Never going to get rid of that. But yeah, that is pretty much my setup. You just see it from the other angle. It looks weird because you just see the back of all my screens and then an armchair. So yeah, my setup in a nutshell. Super simplistic, but this was a bloody bargain. So I might as well just go through with the general stuff I have on my setup, which you just seen in the previous clip. What I have here is a controller from a Game Stick. It was like a cheap, like Android mini console that was released, I think it was like in 2014. It's Android 4.1, so that should give a rough estimation of the year. If I'm wrong, I'll put it up there. But yeah, brilliant little Bluetooth controller. Battery lasts for bloody ever. It's brilliant for playing retro games on because it's just a simple control set and it's quite big, so that means your hands aren't getting cramped after a while. Works fine. This thing I always have on my desk is a notebook, pen, and a pencil. Now this is more just for me jotting down general ideas or sketching ideas out. I use it a bit less than I should do, but it also contains things like when I was developing my new logo, so it's got all these in. I decided on this style because it just kind of sorted everything out I wanted it to be. Simplistic, I could change the colour with ease, and it just looked a bit unique. So I think that's what's on my desk. Vape and liquid. I used to be a heavy stress smoker, so I'm kind of used to having something going once in a while. So a couple of years ago, I swapped over to this. This is a Aegis Legend, virtually indestructible, but mine's a bit battered and old. Still works. Towards the back of my desk, I will have ongoing projects. So this is the game stick I was on about. And I was trying to reverse engineer it, and I've kind of got it working in this like dilapidated state. But it isn't ideal. But it still works. Because I am British, it is kind of mandatory for me to have a cup of tea. Brilliant. Right, so with that bit covered, let's talk computer specs. So as you would have seen in the handheld camera footage, I have a massive laptop as my main rig. And it's specs something to sniff at, I'll give it that. There's definitely a bit of a beastie boy. So inside of it, it has a Intel Core i7 8700K, which has been slightly overclocked. Not a great deal because it is a laptop, but it works. Coupled with 16 gigs of RAM, SSD, hard drive, usual share. But here's the interesting bit. It has a GTX 1080 6 gig MXM card. And this thing bloody flies. Like, I can play virtually everything. Like, I was playing Destroy Humans earlier in the day, and it crushes it. Makes it scream a bit, but it still works. And yeah, it's a brilliant little camera. If we move right to the my setup a little bit, my monitor is a Acer gaming monitor. It's got G-Sync, works like a charm. It's brilliant. The webcam I use, same one it's been for ages. Logitech C920. Absolute workhorse. I think mine's getting on a bit because it's starting to show noise, but that could also just be because it's running behind everything. Keyboard is just a cheap mechanical one I picked up off Amazon a couple of years ago using Gateron Blue switches. So if you ever hear me type, you'll just hear tick, 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 tick. The mouse I need to change out. It's a cheap TechNet one I picked up years ago, but still works. Headphones, I am running Kitsound DJs. 30 quid. Not great, not bad. Kind of like that nice little middle ground. And then phone. Yes, I'm well aware of the Monster 6 on the back. Let me just hide that. I have a OnePlus 6 because it is a absolute little workhorse of a phone. And it just works fine. It's not the latest and greatest model, but it does what I need to. And Fanatic mode. So I play quite a few mobile games when I'm out and about. Mainly Asphalt 8, which is admittedly a bit of an older title, but it's still fun to play. Now, what else? I'm going to try and become consistent with videos on YouTube and consistent with videos, streams on Twitch. Emphasis on the word try. So, for those not so much in the know or don't know me as well, I suffer from clinical depression and chronic anxiety, and I'm quite heavily medicated for both. The problem with that is one of the medications I have to take so I can actually sleep can sometimes leach over into the next day, and it makes me incredibly lethargic, makes life a bit difficult. But I try to work through it. Doesn't always work. Sometimes I just come off a bit grouchy, or I stream and I'm like yawning every 10 minutes, which gets annoying. Not just to myself, but to the viewers as well, and I apologize. But, not much I can do about it. What else? I think that's pretty much it. I think that's pretty much up to speed. Oh, right, that's the other bit. I now live in Southampton, in one of the biggest port cities in the UK. It's huge. The place is bloody huge. I think to walk from one side to the other would take you almost a full day. It's a big city. Well, technically a county, but still. That all being said and done, I hope you enjoy the new content. Apologize if this isn't as flashy as other people put it, but I'm lazy. That's all I can say. So yeah. Subscribe to YouTube, follow me on Twitch, follow me on Twitter, but I expect a lot of just crap to pop up, because I treat that Twitter account as just like any other Twitter account. It's not a brand account. Oh, and follow me on Instagram. I have been trying to use that more often. Again, expect a lot of cars. Formula 1, not. Don't judge me. If you've ever heard of Formula 1 engine, you can understand them. They roar. But yeah. That's it. Why are you sticking around? There's some links to click, but shoo, go watch something else. Don't keep watching my ugly mug. Go.